Okay, we're finally here. It's time for us to do the installation and setup of DBT so that we can work with transformation. First of all, we can see here we need to pip install it. So UV pip install dbt-snowflake, and this is for us to be able to get the snowflake connections as well. And afterwards we'll follow this guide which I've written so that we open the something called the profiles.yaml, which will put in our profile so that DBT in DBT we can in this DBT project we can choose which one we're pointing to, and afterwards we'll go into installing the power user. But for now we'll go into Visual Studio Code. So here I am. So let's activate the virtual environment first of all. So ls, I'm here. I need to jump backwards here. So source.vnv. Let's see, source. Oh, demo. Let me jump backwards here. Oh, sorry. I need to go to... I went back too much actually. cd demos, cd data warehouse. Here, source.vnv bin activate, and note that if you're in Windows it's called scripts instead of bin. So I activate my virtual environment. I can see that with this parenthesis here, and in Windows you're in git bash, so you can do a source as well. So I clear this terminal, Command K, or clear in Windows. Now it's time for me to do UV pip install dbt-snowflake. So now I've installed this, and I'll clear this. And let us go. Let's do this. We go into CD. I will go into 10, like this, setup DBT, exactly, 10 setup DBT. So here I'm inside of this folder, setup DBT. And here I will do dbt init dbt code, like this. And what happens here? Well, when I open this one, we see that we have a logs folder and we have the dbt code folder. And here, this is a template project which has been set up for us. And I will go through this in more detail later, what each of them mean and where we can work, what we can work with it, etc. So before we set up, we have this dbt project YAML that we will be in and set up a lot of stuff later. However, first of all, let's see, the profile dbt code already exists. Continue and overwrite it. Yes, it exists for me because I've created it before, so I will overwrite it. Don't see, so here it says the profile here, which database would you like to use? So I've only set up Snowflake here. I will use Snowflake, so 1. Here, if you have several databases, you can choose the number which correspond to the one you want to use. But for this course, we use Snowflake. And here, let's see, account. To find out the account, we go into a Snowflake sheet. We can go into worksheets and we can create a new one. Find accounts, SQL. And here we can use org admin, use role org admin, and I'll change language to Snowflake and run this one here. And then I will use show accounts like this. And here we have account locator URL. I'll copy this one. Copy this one. And I'll go back here to terminal where I can paste it here and I can just pick these things here. .azure. So before .snowflakecomputing.com. So here. Yes, exactly. So this is my account and they have actually given this quite nice here. They say this value .snowflake.com, right? So here, user, the username is basically the one that we just set up before, which is the transformer. Transformer. And so there's different ways of for the user to connect to Snowflake, and there's one that is password, key pair, and single sign-on SSO. So for simplicity, we have used password, and we have git ignore the password. But when you're doing this sharply in real projects, you should consider looking up SSO. We haven't covered it in this course, so either SSO or key pair. Then you have a stronger safety. But we have the password here. So one for password. So what type of password did we have here? It had just type in the password that you have. I'll type in the password. And the role, we have job adds dbt role, right? Like this. Warehouse dev underscore warehouse. Database job underscore job ads, like this. Schema, default schema, we can use the warehouse. Threads, yeah, one is enough. Yes, and what this did is that it created this profiles.yaml that is here. So it's in .dbt profiles.yaml. So what I can do now is that I can do this open /.dbt /profiles.yaml. And here, this is the things that, this is the file that generated from the DBT setup. And yeah, I just typed in something for the password. I will cut this video and I will change it to my password, and you should pick the ones that you have. For example, I put it like this for now. So here, for example, we used the account before and it generated this for us. So this is the YAML file that this DBT project will be using. Yes, and if you have several DBT projects, you have more. So here's the one, the project is called DBT code. Another one could be called something else, etc. And you have several setups for this profiles.yaml, which lives in your computer. Okay, so now I've closed down the profiles. However, I've changed the password to the one that I'm using. So now let's move on to the DBT code to start navigating there. So in DBT code, we have here dbt project.yaml, and this is a project file which we'll use to do a lot of different setups. So here we can see the profile. It's the DBT code, right? And we have the name of the project. We have this is the setup for different things we have in this project. So here you have model paths, and this is pointing towards the models. And here you see you have the models folder here, models directory, which you have a lot of SQL files, and you have a schema.yaml as well. And here there's actually an example. So this is an example folder. And then we have analysis, we have test paths, etc., seed paths, macro paths, snapshot paths, and when you put in extra documentation folder, you could have a documentation path as well. And here, clean target means that these are the directories that will be cleaned whenever you when you run dbt clean, and it removes something called the target folder, which we don't have yet, and something called dbt packages, which we don't have yet either. So the target folder, this is the folder where we'll have the it's the compiled SQL code. So the dbt code, it's a special syntax for dbt. However, it will compile to Snowflake SQL when we run it, and it will be in a target folder. And when we clean it, it disappears. And the packages, we will install additional packages which has macros from other people, which we'll be using. And this will also be clean if we run dbt clean. So moving on here, we have the setup here. You have models. And in the models, we have this dbt code, and here you see in the models here, you have the example folder, right? And this says that it should be materialized as views. Yes. And so if we look something more, we have analysis. Right now it's just git keep, macros also git keep. So basically analysis is for ad hoc analysis. Macros is for... Actually, I can do this. I will show you in my browser. I will go into the browser here. Yes, we'll do dbt power user as well and dbt utils. However, before that, we'll go into here. So this is an overview of a dbt project. So I have made this table for you so that you can cross-reference to understand what the different folders are. So for example, here you have dbt project YAML. This is the main config file. And here we have this profiles.yaml. So it's connection configs for different environments. And you connect the dbt to your data warehouse. And here you have models, is the SQL files that define the models for the data transformations. You have schema.yaml. This is inside the models, and it's used for defining tests, documentation, and different relationships between models and seeds and sources, etc. So then you have seeds, and here's it contains CSV files locally, which you want to load to your data warehouse. So you can actually use dbt to load local files into data warehouse. For that, you don't need to use DLT as we shown in the previous lectures for loading CSV files. Snapshot. So this is for we actually won't go through this in this course. However, this you use it to work with slowly changing dimensions. So basically, when dimensions of the tables are changing, and then there's several ways to handle them. For example, SCD type 2, if you have read in the dimensional modeling. So this is a quite important topic, but we won't cover it in this course. And there's macros, and here's for having reusable SQL snippets, basically, so that you can dry up your SQL code. So dry means don't repeat yourself. You want to, so instead of copying a lot of SQL code chunks, you can use macros to reuse the code. So similar as functions in other languages. So here you have, for analysis, we have ad hoc analysis, for example, exploratory data analysis. And these are files that won't materialize as models, and which means that you can use it to run queries to test out different things in dbt, but they won't become they won't materialize, so they won't become tables or views if you have chosen that, or something else that you've chosen. And logs, we have different logs. And the target is the compiled SQL code that I said, which dbt generates. And it's for combining, it will combine the model files, macros, and configs. So to generate code which is readable for your destination, which is Snowflake in this case. And there's tests which you can use. You can create custom tests for data quality and integrity, and also docs if you want to have separate markdown files to document your dbt project. Yes, so this is basically overview of the dbt project. Now we'll continue the setup a little bit, or actually before that we should run dbt debug here to see that it actually works. So going back to Visual Studio Code, we do like this. ls, I'm here. I need to go into dbt code. So change directory here, and I do dbt debug, like this. Yes, and it says all checks passed. So if you get this also, congratulations, it works. If you don't, you need to debug it somehow to get to understand it. So basically, let's see, lower this down and clear this out. And now I will do some installations. Let me go back to my notes. I will do let me do this. Yes. dbt power user. This is very good to have. Power user. So I've already installed it. So you should install this one. Power user for dbt. So when you install this, one of the major power is that you can get the previews of your dbt of your dbt code. You can get previews of the tables, of the queries that you do, and also you get a lot of snippets for writing dbt. So this will help a lot. So install this one, power user, and when you have installed it, you also need to set up this. You need to go into do Shift Command P or Shift Control P in Windows. So I'll do that, and I will type in settings.json. So open user settings. Open user settings like this. And I will go down. Let me type in here. So you don't have this, but you should add this these lines. So files.associations, I associate all my SQL files to be jinja-SQL. And all my YAML file to be jinja-YAML. So this is for a power user to use the dbt in order for getting the previews, etc. And this is also one of the reasons why you see that whenever I do Snowflake worksheets, I need to manually change it. So the Jinja SQL means that basically dbt we use its SQL code with Jinja macros, right? So and the Jinja macros are basically it's SQL code which we reuse. Yes. So then dbt power user is set up, and also we'll set up dbt utils, which is a package for having, it has a lot of utility functions and macros that can be used. So we'll set up that. So let's do it like this. I'm in dbt code. I will do touch packages.yaml like this. And we go into packages.yaml and I paste in the package for dbt labs/dbt utils. And this package, you can actually find it if we go into our browser now. So here, the dbt utils, we can go into, it's from the dbt documentation. So here you see how you can install it. Basically, you copy this one, you put it into a file called packages.yaml, and then you run dbt deps in order for it to install this. And going back to Visual Studio Code, into dbt deps. Running with dbt. Warning, no packages were found in packages.yaml. Oh, I didn't save it. I save it and then run this again. Yes, and it works. So we have installed dbt utils. So here you can see under dbt packages, and this is git ignored. Here you can see a lot of packages have been installed. Or this dbt utils package has been installed and it has a lot of files. Yes, and with this we have set up, I will commit this, set up dbt. So with this we have set up dbt, and in the next video we will go into actually modeling in dbt, and that's super fun. So see you in the next video. Bye.